needs space. This is going to be a drill that's going to help you either with a horse that isn't really patterned, doesn't really hunt the barrel, or if you're working on a horse that has a shouldering issue. I'm going to work this drill 2 different ways so that you can see it that way. I'll be walking my way through talking about how to really help your horse. Like, I really like to use it on a horse that doesn't hunt the first barrel. So I use this drill. You just need 1 barrel or an object, even a cone, whatever you got. Make sure that you're on safe footing. I wouldn't do this at a lope if you didn't have really good ground. So if you've got grass or just your backyard, I would slow down and do this at a walk or a really slow jog or trot. I like to use training equipment headgear. Here I'm using a running martingale. I like to use something, most of the time with split reins. I have this made with a single rein so that I can use it in a run if I want to. But I would recommend something really light and soft, like a snaffle mouthpiece. And just proper equipment for this would be, make sure your saddle's tight, make sure that you're ready, make sure that the ground's good, make sure that your horse is already warmed up and paying attention before you start this drill. If your horse is not having a good time responding to this drill, you may want to go back and work on some basics, some flexion left and right, getting your horse really responding to you before you go back and go through this drill. If you find yourself having some issues, if your horse can't do this, it might be a good time to go back and work on some more basic stuff. And I can follow up this video with some more basics kind of moves that'll get your horse responding a little bit better. So if you want to work on horses hunting barrels and working on shouldering, keep watching. I'm going to show you how. So as I start this drill, I'm approaching it as I would a typical first barrel, but a lot more room on the front side. Just asking her to rate right when she gets her shoulder to the barrel and asking her to really commit to the backside and over finish this barrel. Where typically we'd be going on to a second barrel straight across the arena, I'm going to over finish almost heading toward where a third barrel would be, coming back and asking her to reapproach this barrel just like I'm coming down an alleyway, asking for that same angle and asking for her to pause as she comes in, shorten her stride up a little bit, even at a walk. Over commit to this turn on the backside. I'm using just a little bit of outside leg to keep her shaped on the backside, and then I head to a different angle outside of the barrel. I'm going to come back and reapproach it from a different way every time so that she constantly is thinking about where her body wants to be. When I speed things up, I do come in a little bit closer to this barrel, more like I would if I was approaching this barrel at a run. I would not do this drill any higher than a lope, and at a lope I would still break down to a trot when I got around the barrel until my horse starts getting really sharp with this drill. I'm going to go back and work this drill to the left. As I come into this barrel at a trot, I'm going to ask this mare to slow down when her shoulder gets to it, lift her rib cage up, come around this barrel, and I'm asking her to leave at a different spot. I felt like she wasn't really keeping her back in behind her, so I'm going to ask her to come back out and reapproach this barrel and really focus this time. I'm going to show you a little bit more about the shouldering part also. When you come up and pause at this barrel, I'm asking her to keep her rib cage soft and keep away from this barrel. See how she crowds me on the backside? I'm going to push her back out into a big long trot and ask her to reapproach this barrel, keeping her rib cage a little bit softer all the way around. A good marker is to look at the ground all the way around the barrel and imagine an imaginary circle around it so that you can really steer and help your horse stay the same distance all the way around that barrel instead of cutting back really hard. So for all the horses that shoulder, there's several different ways to work this, but this will help all of you girls that don't have access to a big arena or an indoor, all this other kind of stuff. If you have a horse that shoulders, counter arcing is really effective. You just long trot or walk up to this barrel and then pick up and make them counter arc to the other side, to the outside, the other direction. It really keeps your horse thinking, keeps them squared off in the front end and the back end, and helps teach you more skills if you aren't already familiar with a drill like this. Also, if your horse is not able to perform a task like this, it's a good marker for you to know that that horse needs to go back, slow down, and do some more basics before you continue on your barrel racing journey. If you don't have the counter arc button, it will be an uphill battle all the way. If you simply take the time to teach your horse that counter arc move, your barrel racing career will blossom, it'll go so much faster, and your horse will always be softer and more reasonable when you're running really fast and need those last second decisions made. So this is 2 ways to work this drill. And I always like to have a lot of patience when I work this drill. I don't do it for more than 10 minutes, just keeping my horse really nice and soft. And stay tuned because there's going to be many more drills, but this was just a quick one for girls with not a lot of space. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please subscribe today to youtube.com/Fallon Taylor.